Weather, Nick?
Yeah, I escaped it here. I was down at a different clinic in Thornley earlier, so got a bit wet down there with a few other players, but yeah, it's good to get indoors here.
We asked about a decision. Has a decision been made for Nick?
Yeah, we sat down and yeah, no real definite decision. It was just more get back into full training and just see how I go along the way. So, you know, whether a time frame wasn't really set apart, but yeah, we're still taking it one week at a time.
Are you setting yourself those two plays? Is the training that you're doing aimed to getting back?
Yeah, it is. So I'm back training, like full training, and you know, doing everything that the other boys are doing. You know, I've had a fair bit of cardio, a fair bit of stuff throughout the year, so that's not really a big concern. It's more just about getting back in there, getting in the field of training, and seeing how I go from there.
So it'd be fair to say, barring any setback with your training, that you would build to a position where you should be able to play this year.
Yeah, that's the plan. I guess I'm going out there to train and see if I can play, but yeah, like I said, I won't really know until I'm back fully training, you know, week in, week out.
Have you spoken about a waffle game, or at least, you know, whether it's 20%, 40%, 60% of a game, just to test yourself out?
No, we haven't spoken about that, but you know, if they do come to that stage where I need to do so, then I'm sure they'll figure that into it as well. So at the moment, as I said, it's just training and seeing how that goes.
How would that feel, being a major Swans man and you have to put on that other jumper?
Yeah, it would be tough. Obviously, been at the Black Ducks my whole junior career, but I think now that with the alliance and the affiliation, you kind of just have to don the royal blue.
You wouldn't come back for the waffle, would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if I had to. I know that, like, if I'm saying I'm going to play this year, then you know the time constraints are pretty tight. So yeah, if it meant needing some match fitness, if we couldn't emulate it at training, then yeah, back through the waffle it is.
Simo has said before that it's pretty highly unlikely that you will play this year, given it's not much time left. What percentage would you put on your chances of getting back to playing?
I wouldn't give a percentage. I just see it as, yeah, like I'm back into full training, and like I said, yeah, the time frame is pretty tight at the moment. Probably had that little bit of a setback at the start of the year that probably hindered a bit of my training and has set me back to this time of year. So yeah, I wouldn't give it a percentage, but I'm just going to try and do everything I can to get fully fit and back to, you know, playing conditions.
There's a lot of fans who would love to see you back this year on the one hand, but on the other hand, they don't want to see you risk any injury. Can you talk about the risks involved if you actually do make a comeback this year?
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing, I guess time is the biggest help for knee injuries, and the longer you have it, or the more time you have, or the more time you give it, the better it'll be. But yeah, I'm going to be smart with the decision as well. Seeing how I progress through training, if I'm not feeling, you know, 100%, then I'm not going to try and push it, you know, knowing how long the process is to get back and get back to being fully fit again. So the last thing I'd want as well is to, you know, hurt myself again for coming back too early and then have another year off.
In terms of your leave, just in terms of your leap, how close is it to what it used to be?
Yeah, I did a fair bit in America, so that was probably my biggest concern, where I hadn't really jumped too much in the past 10 months or so. So yeah, in the US I was able to do a fair bit of that, and you know, it's coming back to normal. I wouldn't say it's back to its complete strength, but I've worked different techniques to try and help myself out in that area.
Nick, you talk about the plan and obviously wanting to day at the moment, but does there come a period in the next week or two where a decision needs to be made where you say, hang on a minute, I need to just focus on my knee and let football fall away for this year?
No, I don't really think so. I think, you know, I don't think there's any point in saying yes or no, to be honest. Like, I'm just going to keep training and seeing how we go. Like, the last thing I want to do is just focus on my little rehab stuff, and then, you know, we make it to a grand final and I'm not a chance, or I'm, you know, talk myself out of it because I hadn't trained the way I want to do. So I'm going to give myself every opportunity. Just hopefully the team can keep progressing along as well and give me more time, which is what I need. But yeah, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you know, I'll be pretty happy coming into pre-season knowing that I've, you know, got a fair workload out this last part of the year.
You say you don't mind playing waffle. Do you almost expect it, given 12 months out of the game, and you're an athlete that relies on that spring as well?
Yeah, I don't think there'd be too many players who'd have a year off or come back from a long-term injury to come straight back into an AFL side unless it was, you know, at the start of the year. So yeah, I'd be kidding myself if I thought I could just come straight back into the AFL side. I probably do need a bit of match fitness, because training probably couldn't offer you know, that physicality that you probably would get in a game. So pre-season time you can do it, but this time of year boys are pretty sore and not tackling or not jumping into each other as hard. So if that did come to the case, then I'd yeah, definitely just have to bide my time by going through the waffle.
There's obviously the physical aspect of it, but mentally, how tough has the last 12 months been, watching from the sidelines, going away, trying to keep yourself motivated to get back out there?
Yeah, it has been tough. I'm not a great viewer of the game. I get pretty frustrated at times, and I guess when you're losing sometimes as well, it can be even harder. So for me, it's been, mentally just as hard as it has physically. Going to America for a bit was a good little change up and to get away from it, but come back and there's a fair bit going on here at West Coast. So it is mentally challenging, but having other guys at the club who've been through the same situation has helped, and our physios are really good as well. So they've kept me pretty balanced.
To deal with that, have you confided in personal friends or people away from the club, or what have you done to keep yourself motivated?
I guess with my academy stuff that's going on, a bit of the multicultural stuff we have on today has been a big help. So Adam Selwood heads it up at the football club, and I've been doing a fair bit of work with him and the younger kids as well. So being able to pass my knowledge on to the younger generations has been, my sort of getaway. Even though it is still footy, it's been probably a part where I could play a role throughout the year and keep me, I guess, on task and giving me something to do.
How's your confidence in your knee now, Nick? Do you feel any apprehension when you are at training going through these exercises?
No, I did it probably a few months ago, but now I'm fully, I guess committed to everything I do, and I'm not worried or apprehensive about anything at all. So jumping and contact and things like that, I was getting a bit of soreness a while ago, but that's all gone now, and now it's just about getting that match fitness and feeling good again.
Is landing the thing you've had to work on the most?
Jumping, landing, slowing down. I think with most guys with knees, you can run pretty quickly in a straight line, but it's a slowing down and changing direction that probably is the hardest part. So still getting my head around that, but that's come a long way in the past 2-3 months.
Simo said you probably need a full month in training. So does that mean round 23 would be the absolute earliest you think that you can come back for AFL?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like I said, I don't want to give it a time frame. I just I need to see how I progress through each session. But I think a good 2 or 3 weeks at least of building up and training pretty hard would be ideal. But we'll just see how it goes.
And you touched on grand final and the potential of there being an Eagles grand final. Would that be something that's just too hard to resist? That if it got to that stage, you'd be like, I just want to give it a go? Yeah,
it would. I think so. At the same time, I'm going to be pretty smart with my decision as well. There's guys, I guess, in a similar position who are, playing some pretty good footy. So, you don't want to be that bloke that comes in and underdone and not perform. So, I'm just going to train as hard as I can this next little block and just see how that goes.
You said it was a big week last week. Just your emotions of the Matt Priddis retirement, and a lot of people saying if the West Coast Eagles had Nic Naitanui, then Matt Priddis' career might have continued on. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, Priddis came and shook my hand before and said thanks for making me retire. But it is frustrating because I worked pretty closely with Priddis, my whole career. So between him and Luke Shuey, I've had a fair bit to do with them, and they've made me look pretty good at times as well. So it's sad that I haven't got an opportunity to play with him yet. Probably one of the other reasons I want to come back and play is because I want to play another game with Priddis because he's been a legend of the club, a legend of WA footy as well. So it's sad to see him go.
Is any part of you think?
Were you surprised by the decision? Sam Butler said yesterday that he didn't even know he was at home and told to come back into the footy club.
Yeah, there was a few of us in that situation. So I just got back from America and I had the day off actually. So similar to Butsy, I was at home and they said come in. We've got a meeting. They didn't tell us what it was about. And then, to see Priddis get up there was pretty emotional because not many of us saw it coming. He'd obviously signed on for another year, but his words were he can't really contribute as much as he wanted to, and he's a very proud player. So, if he's not having 30 touches every week and 20 odd tackles, then he feels he's not contributing to the team, and he's happy with his decision. But it's sad for the rest of us to see that because we didn't see that coming at all.
Did any part of you think, geez, having a winning ruckman out there, if I was out there, giving it the ball to Priddis, it may have made a huge difference?
A little bit. It might have made a little bit of a difference, but I wouldn't say that was the sole kind of decision to why he's retired. He obviously spoke a bit about his versatility out forward and playing different roles, which a lot of players have to do these days. So, he's happy with his decision, but at the same time, I would have loved to have been out there playing with him earlier this year.
You were very strong in your tweet last week about the footy club, where it's at and the criticism coming towards it. Are you a little frustrated with all the talk around West Coast and where they're at the moment?
Yeah, I have been at times. I guess we're a very successful club and, we've had a very proud history of winning, and I guess when we're losing, our supporters don't really like it too much, and the outside talk is pretty high. But I was obviously over in America for the last couple of weeks, and to come back and hear some of the stuff that was going on, people were asking for players' heads and the coach's head, and list management and people like that. It was it was disappointing to see. I hate people having pot shots at my teammates because, like I said, they are my brothers, and you don't go out there to lose. You don't go out there to play poorly. It just it happens every now and then. You can't win every game. So I think people have a better understanding of footballers and you know what we go out there to do. But at times you can get carried away with you know, asking for people to be sacked or lose their jobs. But yeah, hopefully that changes around, and the only way we can do that is if we keep winning. So that's the plan for the next month.
Nic, you're very strong on that. Is that sort of a belief that the players feel as well? Is it sort of been a united feel in the last couple of weeks with that all going on?
Yeah, I guess throughout the year, even since the 2015 grand final, I guess we had a lot of doubters, and we still continue. We will continue to until we start winning games more regularly. But yeah, internally we're very united. We're very close, and the coaching staff as well. We're all pretty close mates, and I guess that stuff on the outside is tough to hear when they start bagging some of your teammates, but it probably brings us closer together as well and makes us want to prove a lot of people wrong as well. So as much as we hate it, we're probably thankful for it as well because it probably acts as a driving force, and hopefully that propels us into playing finals this year.